turn this on this time.
As long as you don't catch me going slow catch now. Alright.
As long as you don't play it out your arse.
Okay.
Hi, my name's Katie Jane Swallow. Today we're outside the Royal Courts of Justice in London. We're doing some interviews today with some parents who have been affected by social services. Mark Chambers is here with me today. He's going to be explaining his story.
Hi, I'm Mark Chambers. I campaign every day outside the Royal Courts. What we're asking for is to stop forced adoption, to open up the family courts, to stop the secrecy, so they're opened up like the civil and criminal cases. Any acrimonious cases can be heard by a jury. We're also asking to stop the financial inducements for non-family carers of children. We need to stop these children being forcibly taken into care. There's thousands of children being taken into care every year. They're breaking up families, ripping families apart. It's unpicking the very fabric of society.
So, what have social services done to your life? How have social services changed your life?
It's damaged my children. My children aren't in care, they're with their mother, but their mother worked with social workers. When I went into a first protection meeting, there was 12 professionals in them. 9 of them worked with my ex-wife, 3 of them were personal friends. So I got into this, all I was an angry father who wanted a fair trial. That's all I asked for. And while I've been campaigning, I've come across more and more horrendous stories of parents taking their own lives, of children taking their own lives, of children going missing, children running away, psychological damage, and that's why I campaign now.
So as you mentioned before, you're up here every day. What is your main focus? What would you like the public to know?
The forced adoption and the secret family cults. If somebody had said to me 5.5 years ago there were secret family cults in this country, I would never have believed them. I would have thought they were deluded. But it's happening day in and day out around this country, where social workers are going into court, lying in court, committing perjury, misleading the courts by suppressing documents and falsifying reports. Things that if the general public done, they would be facing a prison sentence. If social workers are in the right, they would not need to do that in court. And that's what we're asking to be stopped, by opening the family courts up so there is accountability.
Well, thank you for that. Obviously, we've learnt a lot from Mark. Mark does come down here on a daily basis. Is there anything you'd like to say to other parents out there who've been through the system who are struggling?
Stand up to these people. If that was a river that going along the side of us and your child fell in it, you wouldn't ask how deep it was before you jumped in. You jumped straight in. The same with this. They're trying to snatch your children. They're getting people to jump through hoops just so they can foul you. Do not trust them. They are not your friends. They are not the friends of your children. They are your enemy. This is a war on families. They are smashing families apart, stealing children. They are persecuting women who have been victims of domestic violence and taking the children off of them. They are unscrupulous. The excuses they use for removing children are fabricated on nearly every occasion. I've got a list of children over there who have been stolen. Not one of them children were ever harmed in the care of their parents, but the vast majority of them have been harmed in one way or another while in the care system. The government's own figures of over 72% of prisoners have been through the care system. 60% of prostitutes have been through the care system. When you get to the Mental Health Act of drink and drugs, it's over 80%. That's a care system that's not working, that's failing everyone. And it's being paid for by taxpayers' money and in the taxpayers' name. And it has to stop.
Thank you for that. Obviously, Mark's made some very, very, very well-known points. And one thing that I'd like to say is, we are all family. We may not be related through blood, but we are all related through trauma. You do not have to be scared to come out of your house. You do not have to be scared to speak out. We're all here and we're all family.
I second that. There are a lot of us that will stand with you. You are not alone. Do not listen to social services. Do not let them isolate you. Stand up and make your voice heard. The more people that stand up and be counted, the less people that will be harmed by this. They're only getting away with it because people are scared to do anything and to stand up against them. You have a democratic right to protest. Protest. It's your children, your family that they are ripping apart. Stop them taking your children. Do not let them get away with it. Make a stand.
Before we finish, I just have one last question to ask. Do you think what's happening to parents now is going to overflow onto their children when their children have their own families?
I can see this going on generation after generation. This can have a knock-on effect to not only the children, but maybe their grandchildren, where they maybe overcompensate when they have children, which then their children overcompensate. And because they've been in a care system, their children, we're talking of children 2, 3 years old, who might not have children for another 20 years. In 20, 30 years' time, their children could be dragged into the system for the simple reason the parents were in the care system, so they use the term future emotional harm. How can you predict the future? Nobody can predict the future, so how are social workers able to? My pleasure.
Thank you so much, Mark. That's amazing.
Thank you, Mark. I really appreciate that.